You know what? Even with some big-time surprises getting sprung on us, we didn't make it out of the midweek too bad. We certainly were in better shape than most of those teams from England. 1-3 is not a good look, fellas. The first half of the league stage of the Champions League ends today on Coffee with a Kick. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Coffee with a Kick. We are here on the other side of the first half, as we've covered previously, of the Champions League league stage. Old habits die hard, I suppose. And you know what? Call us the comeback kids. We're bouncing back. We're back to even keel. You know, it's a nice victory coming out of a defeat. Several defeats, as a matter of fact. I mean, it was catastrophic. If you've just listened to the intro from our previous Premier League review episode, I think you'll get the gist. Did you listen to my intro from the last one by any chance?
I did.
Yep.
Boy, yeah, we've been down.
We were pretty hard on ourselves. To be fair, we kind of deserved it, but you know, it wasn't. We still got some right. But that's last week. That's last weekend. So we're on to a new series here. Of course, I'm Xander and that's Keegan. Got to make sure I get my introductions in here. I don't know. I think I'm supposed to say like and subscribe or go to the Substack and whatever. But we're going to just get into the action now with the Tuesday action being PSV and Girona and Slovan Bratislava and Dynamo Zagreb starting us off. Girona got themselves a red card and also destroyed, although I can't say those two things are not correlates.
Yeah, you want to say that it's correlated, but even before that, they were not playing well.
It wasn't great, but it certainly didn't help.
But I don't think they were ever in it to begin with.
No, but 4-0 is tough. You're away, so I mean I still got it right, so I'm not mad about it. But certainly wasn't a great one to watch. And the other one, Dynamo Zagreb and Slovan Bratislava, also not particularly close. Both the favorites ended up being the favorites in this one.
Yeah, I figured that Zagreb would win because they've been doing pretty well in the Champions League outside their Bayern match. Boy, this just shows how bad.
Yeah.
Bratislava is watching the highlights, they did not look good.
No.
And one of those teams sneaks in, kind of like when you're watching the NCAA basketball tournament. It's like a 2 versus 15, and the 15 really just got lucky to be there. It's not good.
They went on a run in the league tournament and I don't know an 18 and 18. Did they play that many games? I think that seems about right.
It's a lot of games.
Is that too many games?
That's a lot of games. I think there were 3 qualifying stages.
I was talking about college basketball. I don't think there's enough games in college basketball. But anyway, Dynamo spotted them a goal in the 5th minute, and they still end up winning 4-0. Slovan, it was nice to see you, but you're, probably bottom of the barrel on this one and getting out pretty quickly. So we move on to more interesting matches, although some more interesting in result only, really. Like Liverpool and Leverkusen, not close. Liverpool continues to be in immaculate form. It took them till the second half to break Leverkusen down, but they had another quick lightning strike of Luis Diaz in 61st and then Gakpo in the 63rd. And that kind of put them on the front foot, obviously, being up 2-0 at that point. And they sealed it off for Luis Diaz hat trick in the end.
Yeah, this has been a theme for Arne Slot Liverpool teams. First half, they kind of ease into the match. They feel out the match. And then their second half adjustments are really good. This is at least the 3rd or 4th match, either in Premier League or Champions League, where they've scored none in the first half and scored 3+ in the second. So they're definitely a second half team. So something to keep in mind as you're thinking about, will Liverpool win? It's halftime. The theme shows they may actually win 3 or 4-0.
And then AC Milan shut down Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, with taking it 3-1, with the only goal for Real coming on a penalty. So it wasn't even run of play goal.
Yeah, this was one where, I mean, I picked Real Madrid to win 3-1, but I forgot about the Christian Pulisic magic. I mean, he takes the corner there in the 12th minute, finds Malik, however you say that last name, Diao, finds his head. I mean, it was a smooth header. They almost got another one too, pretty soon after that. Vinny Jr.'s penalty, I think it was a little soft. He catches him, but he's pulling out of the challenge as he's catching him. I didn't like the penalty call, but I mean, AC Milan really dominated this match. At no point did I think Real was going to. They possessed a lot, but there wasn't a lot of quality chances. Despite having 10 shots on target, a lot of those were just they just petered out by the time they got to the goalie.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, very little quality chances for Real. So I mean, AC Milan looking pretty good after this one. Trying to check the table and it's not loading. Just wanted to take a peek at where they are. They still have some.
Well, it's a needed win for Milan.
Yeah, certainly a needed win for them. They still got some work to do. They're currently in 20th. But they've won 2 in a row now, so we'll see if they can continue that momentum in the Champions League. Let's see. Which one do we want to cover next? We'll go to one that you got right first, okay? Celtic and Leipzig. The Celtics did come through for you there. 3-1 victory at home in Scotland. Glasgow.
Yeah, the 72nd minute goal perturbed me. I mean, it sealed the victory, but I was having a perfect pick there for a good bit. The game went as I thought. Celtic played really well. I mean, they possessed a lot, and they really used the home crowd to their advantage. I mean, I felt like it was a Celtic game through and through. And RB Leipzig, they kind of looked overwhelmed. They didn't ever look comfortable, so I attribute that to them being at home.
You can also contribute to Leipzig being abysmal in the Champions League this year. They are 0 for 4. The only reason they're not in last is because their goal difference isn't so terrible. They're at -5. That good old Slovan Bratislava we were talking about, -13. -13 on 4 matches, guys. That means they're losing by more than 3-0 on average in each match. I mean, that first one, right? One of them kind of blows out of proportion, but still, not great. Not great. And then do we want to continue to beat around the bush, or do we want to go ahead and take care of it? Huh? We want to do this one now?
I mean, the only bush beating I saw was Sporting beating Man City like the red-haired stepchild they are.
Yeah.
4th minute goal. I'm feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
But this match really was the penalties. I'm okay with those. I'm fine. Do I love the calls? I don't know. It's probably my bias, but I mean, it's the 2 run of play goals that really gets me, because Sporting did not have really any possession in this match. I mean, it was 73-27, and that felt high looking at that. City had the ball a lot, but Sporting were just organized. Maybe there's a little bit of extra oomph now that it's their manager's last Champions League game for them. He's going to go be Man City's rival. I don't know, but they clearly came to play. I don't think City need to overreact. There's been a lot of media saying City are in a dark place. This is Pep's worst defeat since 2016. These things happen. I feel like we're in a pretty good spot if we lose at Sporting 4-1 with a couple of penalties, and we feel like it's the end of the world. But it was just not a lot of finishing, not a lot of quality chances. But props to Sporting. I mean, this could be the reason why Sporting end up moving forward in the tournament.
Yeah, it's a very good result for them. Puts them up into second. I mean, they're on 10 points right now. There's a lot. The number 1 Liverpool. That's not not surprising. But the next 3 teams here on the table, they weren't on my bingo card, as I tend to say. Sporting, Monaco, and Brest. are 2, 3, 4 on the table right now. And then we get to more mainstays like Inter and Barcelona. But yeah, did not have that in the cards for our halfway point. And Atalanta being above Man City is pretty surprising as well. But we still have some other matches to talk about. Borussia Dortmund managed to get by Sturm Graz. It was not nearly as exciting as we thought it would be. But they do manage to hold home turf. That yellow wall still managed to come through them in the end, and really it was quite the end. 85th minute, it took him until Vermaelen to get his goal. But good teams find a way to win, right?
Yeah, Dortmund. It's kind of been a theme for them this season. We're used to them scoring a lot of goals, but really, I mean, they've been squeaking by victories. I think it'll catch up to them eventually, but I mean, they get 3 points. They can't be too mad.
Yeah, and then Lille and Juve had a 1-1 draw. Don't have a lot to say about this one. I mean, it was a good number of attempts on each side, but I didn't catch much of this one.
It was pretty even outside of Juve possessing quite a bit. It was two teams that, similarly to the Celtic match, Lille really leaned on the home crowd and the home energy. They didn't get the victory, but I felt like that is what really helped them hold on to a point, especially after Vlahovic's penalty.
Yep. And then Monaco, it's very similar actually to the Dortmund match. Leaves it till the very end to go over Bologna, and like I said, they are now seated nice on third on the table. Yeah,
I don't have much to say about this. I felt like it was an opportunity missed from Bologna because Monaco is probably one of the better teams they're going to face in their little span here. But it's one of those where you're at home. These are the points you need to prove that you need to go to the next round. But, I mean, they didn't look like a team. They didn't look well organized. So, I don't know. I think this was kind of a blow to Bologna's chances. It's going to be tough sledding from here on out. Even though there are 4 more matches left, I think we mentioned it at the very beginning. The 4th week and the 5th week are going to be the most telling weeks when it comes to where people are going to be at the end.
I will say that Bologna has a pretty tough road to hoe so far this Champions League. They played at Liverpool and at Aston Villa already. So that is this not
is the
easy.
One, man. You got to get these points or else, you're climbing. You expect the Villa and the Liverpool losses, but I think you got to get something out of Monaco.
I think they drew Shakhtar 0-0 in the first match day. That's really not great. That is certainly not good if you're Bologna. But that finishes up the Tuesday action where, we actually did pretty decent on Tuesday, or I did at least. With being 5 and 4. No,
I was 4 and 5.
Yeah, and I was 5 and 4 on the first match day. I matched all the favorites that I picked won. So fun. And then we move over to our Wednesday action. Boop, boop, boop. First one up, Club Brugge shocks the world. We're going to shock the world. Aston Villa falls to Club Brugge 1-0, with that goal coming as a penalty in the 52nd minute. So they were able to stifle Aston Villa pretty well. And in fact, probably even, they had better chances than Aston Villa did.
Yeah, I mean, this was a game plan exercise to a T when it comes to Club Brugge. They executed it perfectly. Aston Villa were swarmed anytime they got in the final third, and they got a lot of chances put on them. So, I mean, if Club Brugge can do this in all their home matches, I mean, there's a chance that they could definitely go through, if not get a bye, because that's an impressive win.
Yeah, it's a very good win. I think a bye might be a little bit much. They're still down in 22nd, but it is very tight there.
It's all about them dubs. If you get the dubs, there's a chance.
Yeah, they get a win and things break their way, and theoretically they could get up into the bye portion of the table. I guess, getting a bye. Then Shakhtar beats Young Boys, which I think we both did pick because Young Boys are really bad. And in fact, this was your perfect pick. 2-1, Shakhtar over Young Boys.
Yeah, I like this pick. It was a good one.
Oh, you liked your perfect pick? Wow.
Yep, I like this one. It kind of went the way that we expected, that we kind of talked about beforehand. Like, Shakhtar was the better team. By how much? It was marginal. They had more chances, but like neither team looked dominating. And Shakhtar, first half was great. Second half, it kind of looked like both teams just agreed to shake hands and walk away. Second half was not a good one. But yeah, I mean, good for Shakhtar getting a home victory in Germany.
The quote-unquote home victory, which I think, oh no, they did get that 1 point in match day 1, drawing Bologna that I just talked about. But yeah, Young Boys, they're one of our other pointless teams. Not that they, are not being to be mean or anything, but they literally are without a point. We've got five teams without a point: Leipzig, Sturm Graz, Young Boys, Slovan Bratislava, and Svernesvedja, which we'll go ahead and get to now. They were, they put up more of a fight than we thought they would, but it was 5-2 in the end against Barcelona.
Yeah, 2 goals coming in the run of play. I mean, efficiency is Svernesvedja's game. 2 shots on target, 2 goals.
Yeah,
I think if they could get more shots on
being
target,
efficiency is their game. Yeah,
but boy, I mean, Svernesvedja, Slovan Bratislava, Young Boys, it's like trying to put an eraser in a pencil sharpener and hoping to write with it afterwards. Like, we're just not getting anything from these teams. The goal difference is abysmal. You are well set to think that they're going to go winless, maybe even pointless in the group stages, because you get 2 goals against Barcelona, cool. But, like, really, that was just Barcelona knowing they already won, just not really thinking.
Who is their other bottom group matchup here? Who is their other bottom group? Oh, you know what? Young Boys Svernesvedja is the last match day that they have. Do you think they may draw? They may do a gentleman's agreement there, just so neither of them go pointless, and say, you know what? We're gonna sit down and play pat a cake and not score any goals and just 0-0 draw. We'll take it, okay?
I mean, Young Boys is in Switzerland, and they do not get into conflicts. So there's a chance that they just all sit on the pitch for 90 minutes.
That is true. We will see. I'm not if they are both at 0 points going into that, I'm not looking forward to watching that match. Because other than that, I mean, they still have to play Stuttgart, Milan, and PSV, which they get PSV away, so that's a little bit better. But with how they just performed, it was not promising for Svernesvedja. Then we'll go to Bayern Munich just edging out Benfica. 1-0 victory there, with that goal coming in the 67th minute with Musiala. It was a tight one, but the German Giants pull it out in the end.
Yeah, this one was just a matter of time before Bayern scored. I mean, Benfica held on all they could, but before and after the goal, it was just Bayern all the way.
Yeah, it's a tight one it was so. Our score lines were basically right. We both said that Bayern was going to win by a good bit, like 3-0, 4-2 is what we had picked. It's just the goals didn't fall in the end, and it was disappointing. I mean, I was disappointed. In 23 shots on goal, forcing only 9 saves, but still, you think Bayern would get more than that. Still, it's full 3 points, so you can't complain too much about it. We both got it right, so can't complain too much about it. And then where do we go? There it is. And then we'll go to another match here. I'm just kind of picking and choosing here. Which one do you want to cover next?
I mean, I think we should cover the 2 shocking results. I mean, PSG falling to Atleti at home,
Yeah.
and Inter beating Arsenal 1-0. Like, those are big results,
Mm-hmm.
especially with how Atleti was playing. Man, them beating PSG was a shocker to me. But Arsenal falling, I mean, they've been on a little skid here, similarly to Man City. Like, both
Yeah.
Man City and Arsenal are kind of twin brothering it here, and it's just whatever he feels, we feel.
They're Spider-Man memeing it. Everybody's just pointing, and I guess you could throw Villa in there as well. And all three of you are kind of Villa's not quite the same level, so maybe he's the derpy Spider-Man meme mixed in with pointing at each
Spider
other.
Pig with the rest of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
humans.
but it was shocking. I mean, neither of us picked those, so it was almost your 1-1 though was sorry, my 0-0 was not looking. Hold on, let me get back to my notes for that. Yeah,
I mean,
it
you had
wasn't
the
looking
penalty
too bad
right before halftime.
Right before halftime.
But I mean, this went about as I had predicted, just like a gritty, grinded out match. If that penalty hadn't happened, this was going to end 0-0.
I know.
Like,
I was
Inter
so
Milan
disappointed.
was not getting many chances, and Arsenal was being stifled. So penalty was tough for you, because outside of that, it was most likely 0-0.
Yeah, and then I guess one of our other shocking ones here is that Feyenoord loses to Salzburg at home. I mean, they were aided, of course, by the red card. Let me get over to my notes for that.
Well, even after the red card, they scored in the next minute to make it an exciting match, and then they give up an 86-minute one.
Yeah, but Salzburg had done their work ahead of that, so it was good on them, and it was that a double yellow? I think that's what it was, right? It doesn't lay out as nicely as it does in my other view.
My takeaway from this match was Salzburg genuinely were very efficient with their shots on target. I mean, 3 for 3. Outside of that, not a ton of stuff in this match. So it was really just a result of Feyenoord not being as lethal as Salzburg in front of goal.
That's fair. That is fair. And I think we've got 2 left. Hold on. 1 left, right? I'm not very organized today. Yeah, 2 left. 2 left. Atalanta took out Stuttgart, and Brest continues to impress. They took out, they beat Sparta Prague, so that's not that great, but still a win. It's an away win in the Champions League for a debutante.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, they are the team that's just the best of the rest. They've gotten a very beneficial draw as far as who they play, but they've capitalized. I mean, they are, number 3 right now?
That's 4, but it's just they're the same goal difference as Monaco. I think it's just they have fewer goals for.
So, I mean, they're getting the work done. They're beating the teams, and once they don't have to stress as much over, do we need a win versus this big team? They can just beat the minnows and be that middle of the pack team that gets through just because they were the best of the rest.
That is true. And so that brings us to the end of match day 4. In the end, I went 9-9. You went 7-11, which isn't great, but you're still almost +5 units on the match day. But we were both soundly defeated by the favorites. If you just picked favorites, you got 11 almost 11.4 units this match day.
Now by my count, I'm 8-10. So
8-10. Did I miss one? Hold on.
I got Zagreb, Dortmund. I had RB Leipzig losing.
Zagreb.
I got Liverpool, Shakhtar, Bayern, Brest, and Barcelona.
You did have Zagreb. That's the one I missed. You had Zagreb winning.
8-10 with a perfect pick. It's not the greatest, but I'm in the green.
Yeah, it was a really tight week. We needed this week. We had been doing poorly. I had been doing worse, but still, our past couple matches have not been great. Looking at the sheet, it's not a lot of dark green on it. So, maybe we could carry this momentum into this weekend before we guys. Guess what? It's another international break. So, we'll have our preview episode coming out here later today. I guess I'll do this one first. Yeah, I guess we're going to do it later today because now I've committed to it. And then we'll have our recap episode on the other side of the weekend. And then we'll be gone until it's time for the Premier League to start back up later in November. Then we may or may not take a weekend off for Thanksgiving. I think we may end up doing that now that I'm thinking about it.
We'll
or have something
show
small.
on Thanksgiving, probably.
Sorry, what was that?
I have two notes to end the show on.
Oh.
One is, if you thought Slovan Bratislava would get any points, their next 4 matches are against AC Milan,
Not great.
against Atletico Madrid,
Not great.
against Stuttgart. There's a chance.
There's a chance.
And then they end it with Bayern.
Wow,
So
that's tough.
if there's a bet out there to say if they get 0 points in the entire league stage, that might be a bet you want to consider because, boy, it's going to be tough.
I'd have to see those units, but I'd be interested. I'd be interested, especially if it's like if I can get minus 1.5 units. That may be the pick there. Does that make sense? Yeah.
The second thing I was going to say is America has been made great again. We're going to drill, baby, drill. And we're going to bring back the golden age. And we're going to cover Premier League soccer for the next 4 years with our freedoms.
That's right. Nothing says America like covering Premier League
English
soccer. All right, but you know what? I'll toast to that. And until we see you later today, why don't you go ahead and grab some coffee, watch some soccer, and we'll see you on the other side. Oder